Coach Lemonis is joined tonight by his center fielder Jake Mangum, his catcher Dustin Skelton, and his starting pitcher Peyton Plumley. Coach will make an opening statement. After he's done with that, we'll take questions for the three student athletes, and then we'll follow up with questions for Coach. The floor is yours when you're ready.
First of all, I want to congratulate Stanford on a great year. Just, man, what a great opponent and classy program. Just, I've known Dave for a while, and to watch them go about their business and how they did it, especially last night with our situation. Just, man, what a great program and a great year they had. Unbelievable night. I keep thinking that, hey, we've had our best night in our ballpark, and it just keeps getting louder and louder. Our fans are unbelievable. And then our ball club, man, it was a typical Mississippi State game. We just grinded it out, and some great plays by these guys up here. I thought we got a great start by Peyton. After the first batter of the game, we were really good. Had to get that out of your system. I think we've had that 2 weeks in a row, and then he just pitched phenomenal. So fun to watch him come off the mound, and our fans, support him. And then just all day long, and then the ninth inning was pretty special to see our guys get congratulated as they finished up playing at the Dude.
We'll start with Steve in the middle with the questions for the student athletes.
Peyton, we talked about this last week, but last year you had to envision all this. What's the reality like now that you've been the winning pitcher in the game since you came to Omaha, Nebraska?
It's a feeling like no other. I tell you that. Everything I did to get back to this point was for this moment and to get back to Omaha and give our fans a national championship, which is what we're looking to do. And for all that to actually happen and come into place, it's so surreal. And I'm super thankful to be here, and I'm super thankful for the opportunity to play for this university.
We'll go back right to David.
What was that like in the ninth inning? You start the rally with a single, Elijah cleans it up with a 3-run homer. Last inning, last game, just like old times. I mean, what was that like?
Man, if you think I can put that into words, you're crazy. That was, can't write it any better. My first ever hit at Duty Noble was the same as my last, the 6-hole. Of course, it was the first pitch too. The Mac, all week, Elijah Magnet doesn't get drafted. There's 1,200 picks in the draft, and he didn't get drafted. It's a joke. And all week he said, God's got him. He's going to stay with God, and good things will happen. And he's got him. That whole inning was God, man. It was really, really cool. Just magical. It was magical.
We'll go to Ben, front row left.
Peyton, I saw you walking off the field for the last time. You kind of looked both ways, then said something into your hat. What'd you kind of say? What was that moment like?
Well, I looked around, just kind of take everything in. Coach Lemonis said, take it slow. And I knew that would be my last time stepping off the mound and my last game ever at Duty Noble Field. And looking down at my hat I didn't say anything. I was trying to keep myself from crying. But it was, that's how it is, man. You fall in love with this team, you fall in love with the university, and you fall in love with all the fans and the amount of support they bring to us. I mean, you can't do anything else but compete your butt off and trying to win in front of them and to dogpile in front of all of them and have the season that we've had is really, really special.
We'll go third row middle to Robbie.
This is for Dustin. You said the other week that you really worked hard in the off season with Joseph Bosque and worked on your hitting and your receiving and things like that. To go from where things were at Vanderbilt last year to this point where you get the clutch hits time after time this weekend and you get those two guys thrown out in that one inning. What's that journey been like for you?
Tell you what, it's been unreal, man. I mean, I got here my freshman year and wasn't promised playing time. Didn't play much. I think I got 60 ABs, 70 ABs, whatever it was. And I just took it as a learning curve and just wanted to do everything I could for my team. And man, just to see where my game has progressed and just got to now is just absolutely I'm thankful for all these great coaches that I've had and all these great teammates that I've had to help me get to where I'm at today. So
Go back into the middle with Steve.
It's also for Dustin. You know, they walk hitters to get to you, and you make them pay, and if for some reason they want to continue to steal bases on you. I mean, do you see that as a personal thing with you? Do your eyes light up when you see a runner take off, knowing you've got a chance to make a big play for your team?
Yeah, absolutely. I thrive for that. I thrive for making that big play. Bottom of the ninth, and we need a hit, man on third, 2 outs. I'm the guy you want at the plate, so I wanted everything to be taken into my hands. So
Go back to the cameras and Tom.
For Jake, last year, obviously, the emotions of your guys' run to Omaha was a little bit different from now, but I was wondering if you could take us through what you're feeling right now, maybe as opposed to last year, and what are some of the first things you think about getting back to the College World Series?
Well, just two completely different stories, you know. Last year we were, hung up to dry, early April. No one had any confidence in us, and we had to prove a lot of people wrong. And my first 2 years here, making it to a super regional, going 0-2 in both. It almost felt like a hill we couldn't get over. Last year we, won just a crazy series at Vanderbilt. It was very emotional. This year we kind of just stayed the course, and we played well all year. But I can speak for myself here. I didn't come back just to make it to Omaha. We're trying to win a national championship. So we're one step closer, and we got work to do.
Go front row left to Tyler.
Dustin, last night you were behind the plate and you were watching a ball sail out to center. You said you thought it was gone, and now tonight it was sort of the opposite situation. Your ball was flying out to right center. What were you thinking when you saw the ball flying out there, and then what was it like when you were standing on third, knowing that you just drove in 3 runs?
Honestly, off the bat, I thought it was gone. But coach says run, get 2 out of the box. So I was just thinking, run my tail off and try to get to second base. When it fell, I turned second, looked at the fans as I was going to third, and I was overwhelmed with how loud it was, and I was trying to live in the moment.
We'll go third row left to Teddy.
Jake, when you got here, Mississippi State was coming off of one of its worst seasons in recent memory, and to now be at the point where we're coming to 4 super regionals and back-to-back Omaha, just what has that experience been like, and to be a leading part of that all 4 years?
Well, when I got here as a freshman, it was a unique situation. The state was coming off one of its worst seasons, but the guys that were coming back were extremely talented that year. Go look at the 2016 team and look at how many guys are in the bigs, or not, if not very, very close. This year we tied that team with the most amount of draft picks, 11. So, on paper it looks like I came into a bad situation, but it was a great situation. We had tons of good players in that team, and that team. If it wasn't for a lot of those guys on that team, I wouldn't be where I'm at now in my game. Jacob Robson, for example, was a center fielder when I came here. He really took me underneath my wing and showed me how to do things the right way. I can go on and on about players, but 4 supers, 4 years. 2 trips to Omaha.
There's one way to beat it.
Yeah, there's one thing left to do, and it's still in front of us. Let's go do it.
We'll go front right to Brett, then we'll go to Steve.
Hey, you give up the leadoff homer, then you don't give up a hit for like 2 hours. How did you settle into that game, and what you used to bow them down there?
Going into the game, I knew that I was probably going to give up a home run. I've done it just about every time I've gone out there. I just, when the first batter of the game does it, it kind of messes with your mind a little bit as opposed to cruising through a game and giving up 1 in the 5th or the 6th. But after that, I knew that if I let my emotions get the best of me, that Stanford, as good as a club they are, as good as hitters they have, they would eat me alive. And I took a deep breath. I looked around, I took in the moment, and I just told myself, this is not how I'm going out. This is not going to be how my last outing is going to end up for me. I'm going to fight, and I'm going to give this team a chance to win, and give this team a chance to go up on. And that's kind of the whole thing that kept me moving through the game.
Go here right in front to Rick.
Yeah, this is to any of the guys that want to answer it. Their coach went on and on about the atmosphere here, but he said he didn't think it affected their team as much as it motivated you guys. I just wonder what your observation. Did you think it got into their heads, or and talk about the way that it motivates you?
Yeah, I talked to the shortstop, and he said, man, our regional we had a sold out crowd of 2,300 or 2,800 or whatever it was, and I said, yeah, well, you're in front of 13,000 right now. How's it feel? And he's like, man, it's not unlike anywhere else. He just said that this place is special, and it'll continue to be special for a long time. So.
Okay, we got time for a couple more for the student athletes. We'll go middle to Steve.
Jake, you mentioned getting to Omaha. It was all new for you last year. What can you bring from that experience this year, and maybe go up there and finish the deal?
Well, we were one game away from the national championship last year. I mean, in the fall, whenever we're going through the stuff that we don't want to do, all the 6 a.m. workouts, the swimming in pools, the Omaha challenge, what we do. But you know, we do it to win a national championship, not to be in the Elite Eight. You know, so being there once, it kind of slows things down for you a little bit, and just puts into perspective for you that it's like, I mean, the guys on the team this weekend were very nervous because we'd already been in a super regional type field. That game 3 last year at Vanderbilt, it gives you a lot of experience really, really quick. But yeah, you know, I think it's really helpful for us. You know, I'm also happy that a lot of guys that couldn't go last year get to go, like Plumlee, Spencer, all the new guys on the team, Barlow. For sure leaving someone out, but a lot of those guys get to go now, and I'm really excited for that.
We'll wrap up the student athletes with Ben, front left.
Pete, you mentioned you giving up the home run. I know that team obviously has a lot of big bats and pitch to contact. I mean, how much was there any kind of different game plan in that, or any different way that you have to attack a team like that sort of carried out?
Well, we talked all week about fastball location would beat this team, being able to move the ball in and out. I didn't have my best stuff when it comes to command with getting the ball away to the right-handed hitters, but luckily I was just sinking it and I was keeping it down, which was good enough to you know, keep them on their toes, and then mixing in a changeup and a slider. That helped a lot too, but you know, just being able to move the ball in and out, doesn't really matter who you pitch against. You keep them off balance, keep them off your fastball the best you can, and then put the fastball where you want it. Good things will happen, and make it move to arguably the best defense I've ever had behind me. It's really easy to pitch.
Thanks, fellas. Congratulations.
Thank you guys. Help stay.
Go stay, baby.
Go ahead and get questions going for Coach Lamonis. Go ahead and we'll lead off here with Slim.
Coach, you've been a part of a lot of really good teams, and great teams have great players and great leaders. I know Jake gets a lot of credit for that, and deserving so, but there are more leaders on this ball club than Jake. Can you talk to them about that nucleus of leaders on your ball club?
Yes, this is a very player-driven program. I mean, Jake's an alpha, Ethan Small. The neat group that we have is we have that really talented group of sophomore players too. You know, the Westbergs, the Foscues, there's just so many leaders. And in this group, when you play in this program, you play in so many big environments. You just learn how to play at this level. And we seem to do it day in and day out, and you get used to it a little bit. And they've had so much postseason experience today. Even in our locker room, we talked about, we've been here. You should be used to this. Go out and play our game. But we just have, it's a neat dynamic in our program. We have so many older leaders, but we have a great sophomore class too that's shown a lot of leadership and production.
We'll go to Rick.
Yeah, Chris, before I forget about it, what about JT Ginn? What's his availability? How's his recovery? And
he's been good. He threw a little bit before the game. If we'd have had to play tomorrow, he would have been pitching tomorrow. So he's in a pretty good spot right now. Maybe try to get him a bullpen tomorrow and get him ready for the next week. But he's been. It was nothing major. It's just, you know, getting him to where he feels right.
We'll go back to the cameras and Tom in the gray shirt.
Coach, the question was asked of Jake too, but if you could maybe put in the words the ninth inning with Jake and getting a single, Elijah cleaning it up, you know, this past week we've talked about those guys and what that moment meant for the dugout.
Yeah, it's awesome. And the players, those type of players, they spend so much time with our fan base and the community, and the community thinks the world of those guys. It's nice to see them go out that way. It was a little out of control all week. Jake's been doing his hands. I don't know if did he get a hit any time when he did that, but that's Jake. And Elijah's week's been really hard. I mean, and he is such an awesome kid. He's a great player, but he's even a better person. And it was tough. And man, the day after he showed up, smile on his face, he's pumping everybody else up, and the game rewards that. And the game rewards that attitude. And he was that home run was pretty fitting. I just wish he wouldn't have thrown the bat over the catcher's head. So I went out and apologized to the umpire, to the coach, but there's just so much emotion. I don't blame Elijah. He was just excited. He wasn't trying to show anybody up. He was just excited.
Go middle, second row to Steve.
Obviously, you've got a little time to think about it, but what's kind of your philosophy about pitching in Omaha? Are you a guy that wants to start with your ace in game one or game two? So what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I'm hoping Ethan Small's running out there game one. I don't know who we're playing yet. I refuse. Everybody kept talking to me about Omaha. I said, I don't even know who we play, how it matches up. I feel like it's a bad mojo, so I'll look at all that. But we'll get Ethan Small ready to go. And you want to have your best guys as many times as you can, even though our guys have pitched really good. And I think they're all a pretty good matchup out there. It kind of depends on how the wind's blowing sometimes when you get to Omaha. I spent a lot of time when I was in Indiana. Our conference tournament was there. And a couple weeks earlier, it usually blows out. But every other time I've been there and played in the World Series, it feels like it's blowing in. So that dictates it a little bit.
We'll go third row right to David.
Chris, you talked about Jake being kind of an alpha and everything, and you think back most kids when they're like 18 to 22 and having 4 different coaches and just the uncertainty and him just continuing to be awesome through whatever. I mean, why is he able to do that?
He's a chameleon, maybe. I mean, he's adapted to every environment. He's been great for me because there's things that I've wanted to implement that maybe weren't important to one of the other coaches, and he's had full buy-in, you know. And for a senior, I mean, in the fall we were talking about these guys have learned 4 bunt defenses, 4 first and thirds. I mean, it's been pretty tough for him, but his buy-in piece is huge. He just wants to win, and he wants to represent his university. And he had some goals that he wanted to accomplish this year. And one was getting back to Omaha, and one was being a better draft pick, and he's done both of those to this point. But he's just a star. I mean, he is just and what's nice about him is he is what Mississippi State baseball is. Tough, hard-nosed, play hard. That's been the challenge we talk about all the time is our style and our culture. The players will change, but hopefully that mentality stays inside our program.
We'll stay on the right for second row with Joel.
I asked you about Peyton the other day, but this year for him to have missed out on an Omaha trip last year, just how much have you seen this year the desire for him to, I guess, make good on that, to get back to Omaha after not getting a chance to last year?
You know, I think he fought for so long just to get back in the mix. You know, we got him in the fall. He hadn't played in the whole year. He wasn't real good in the fall. You know, we came out in the early season. He was pretty good, and then he struggled, and he's just kept fighting. I mean, the biggest thing with Peyton is he said it here tonight. He really wasn't great early, and then he found it. And he found it because he competed. He just didn't give in. He just kept making pitches, and that desire to get back and experience it was huge for him because he did miss it.
We'll go over here to coach's left and Ben.
Coach, you've talked about Dustin and what he brings both in the batter's box and on the field, but is tonight kind of a validation of that? I mean, he makes those couple of spin throws out short and then hits the triple to put things ahead. I mean, what kind of validation is that when a guy like that who really just does get it done on both sides?
You know, when I took the job and look at your roster and you look at everything, I had so many people tell me, who's going to catch and what are you going to do? And coming off last year and even this weekend, Stanford's catcher's awesome player. I mean, I think he was the defensive player in the pack. And I told Dustin after the game, I said, you were the best catcher on the field today. I mean, he was phenomenal. He works really hard. Our catching coach, Kyle Cheesebro, has done a great job, but Dustin just keeps getting, you know, some players, the great players, they get better just a little bit every day, and that's kind of what he's done over his career. I mean, the big hits that he's had the last 2 nights, but the way he handles our pitching staff, and he has such a great demeanor from our pitching coach to our pitchers to him. It's like having a coach out there between the lines.
We'll go second row middle with Brian.
We're coming up on about a year for you being named head coach here. Just for you, I know that the ride's not over yet, but what has this year been like for you to take over a team with this kind of expectations, and really to this point you've delivered on it?
Well, I think it's the team's delivered. I mean, it's been a crazy year for sure. I mean, I think anytime you take a new job, and we've got a good team. I mean, I have a good staff of coaches, and they've done a phenomenal job. And then we had an older group that's done some things, but we had a lot of question marks. I mean, we had some guys. I'm super proud when I watched Jared Liebelt pitch tonight. And shoot, I had tears in my eye watching Cole Gordon, who we had to talk back into coming, and Mr. Mississippi State too. It's just fun, but it has been a crazy year, and but like you said, we're not done yet. And this group is really, like I said earlier, they're player driven. They have goals, and they're still motivated from last year. A lot of those older guys are getting back and playing the best they can in Omaha.
Got time for a couple more for Coach before we wrap it up. We'll go back to Rick here in the front.
Chris, you've been a lot of places, a lot of atmospheres in college baseball, and you knew you were coming to a special place, but have you ever seen anything like the last 2 nights here?
Nothing. I mean, it's just, I can't talk to my coaches. I mean, it is so loud, and they are so into it, so knowledgeable about the game. You know, I told John after the game, I mean, what an unbelievable place to play. And I was never here at the old ballpark, but this new one is special. And the character it brings, the crowds, the noise, the atmosphere, it's just every team that's come and played, just they're so complimentary after they leave. Because it is a rowdy environment, but it's a classy environment, and our fans, I mean, we have baseball fans here, and they live and die baseball, and that's a special group.
Anything else for Coach before we let him go? We'll go back up front to Slim to wrap it up.
Back to JT. He missed a couple of 3 starts earlier in the year. Is what he's having now, is that similar to what he was going through then?
Yeah, it's just a small strain. So he missed 1 start. I really threw it in, came out, and pitched the next week. But it's just, like I said, it's just muscle.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.